Hello everyone, it's Val again. So I'm making this short video to just walk you through some general points and highlights of the syllabus. The reason I make this video every year is because at some point in time, there is a student who does not heed my warning of how important reading the syllabus is, and they come up to me and they don't get a good grade on an assignment and they say, well, I didn't know that was expected. And I say, well, did you check the syllabus? Because the rubric was on the syllabus. And they get very frustrated with themselves. So I know during most people's undergrad careers and maybe even in high school, they were giving syllabi and they just kind of threw it in the trash and never looked at it again. You cannot do that in this grad program. The syllabus has a ton of vital information. So I'm just going to walk you through some of the highlights. It is your responsibility to read all of it and understand all of it. With that being said, I know there's like 23 pages, so we're just going to go through highlights at this moment in time. So as you know, this course is co-taught by myself and Dr. Muse. So if you have any questions pertaining to the lecture, you might want to email both of us. You're welcome to email just me if you're in my section. For the labs, you can just email me because I'm taking care of all of the labs. You know that it's the blended format. Hopefully you're watching the pre-week videos and it's talking about the flipped classroom and general expectations of grad school. You have emails, we have Zooms by appointments, we have some on-site meetings. It's a little tricky. We don't have a lot of actual on-site meetings as outside of the general lecture, but that's okay. We have the open office hours, and then you can always email either of us to set up a one-to-one. All right, so you are in charge of reading this. I am going to skip through some of it because I know you're probably going to be overwhelmed. All right, make sure you have your required textbooks. It is critical that you have them. It's going to be very important to have quick access to them. You will be bringing them to your lab sections on site as well. You should be an AOTA member. That will save you a lot of money for using the official documents anyways. Curriculum text you need, of course. If you need to contest points, I believe you have, 1 week? 1 week, there it is. 1 week to reach out to your professor to contest points on an exam or a quiz. Late work policy, hopefully you guys have already heard this by now, but it is very important that you understand. For every 24-hour period that something is late, you are going to lose 10 points. So if something is due at 11:59 p.m. on Saturday and you hand it in at 12:01 on Sunday, you will automatically be at a 90. The highest score you can achieve is a 90. So if you hand it in at 12:01 or 8:05, it doesn't matter. It's a 90. Okay. Make sure you read through the COVID policies. It's really important. But again, you should be reading through all of this. If you have a disability, make sure you reach out now and set it up. A common pitfall that students have is that they wait till their first exam and then they reach out to their professor and say, I have extended time. It cannot work that way. You must reach out to SIRB first, and you must do it well before the first exam or assignment that you're using your services on. So reach out, get it done now, set it up now. Again, I cannot help you right before the day of an exam. It will not work that way. Technology, make sure you read through all of these. Right here is a breakdown of your assignments. Make sure you read that. That will be super helpful. For your actual grades, this is a VAPATH policy, so this is for every class. Note, we do not round. So if you get a 82.9, it's still going to be a B minus. If you get an 82.1, it's a B minus. If you get an 82.9, it's a B minus. We do not round up. Throughout the course, there are some times where rounding does occur. That is why at the end of it all, we do not round. So again, if you were to get a 94.95 at the very end of this course or any course at VAPATH, it will stay an A minus. Just keep that on your radar. Make sure you read your classroom conduct, tutoring services. Make sure you read all of this. Disclaimers, just be very aware that things are, changing constantly. I did teach during the spring semester, the bridge program, when COVID first hit and everything was changing every minute. This semester, we have it quite a bit more under control, but it's still not great in terms of, the vaccine is rolling out. It's going to be phases. It's still going to be a lot to go through. We can do it. We have systems in place. We have protocols. It will be just fine. However, things are probably going to change at some point. So make sure that you are aware of your email. Check your email constantly. Check your announcements constantly. Now is your breakdown of the assignments. So you have your theory model practice paper, you have your general quizzes, you have your frames, the breakdown of what the quizzes entail, you have your article summary. So this is a really good place to start when you're working on an assignment, right? It gives you the breakdown of what I'm looking for. It tells you about, when it's due, how much it's worth in your course. And then, like, for example, the model of practice paper literally tells you the 3 questions you need to answer. So you have your breakdown of all your assignments. So again, when you're doing your assignments, I would highly recommend you have this right next to you. Gives you a nice breakdown of exactly what I'm looking for. Read this in your own time. For discussion postings, it is critical that you understand that there's an initial post and then there's replies. Your initial post is due by Wednesday at 11:59 p.m. You need to have at least 2 replies by Saturday. And it is expected that the total of your posts, so you're having at least 3 posts by this point, you have your initial and your 2 replies at least, be over 3 different days. It is the expectation of this course and many others that you are, on the discussion boards, checking them, being actively engaged. And that is why we're looking for over at least 3 different days. So at least 2 peers in total over at least 3 different days. Okay, and then more information. You have your professionalism. Just be aware, you probably know this already, everyone starts at a 92 through the semester. I understand a lot of students have given the feedback of they're trying to hit that 100 for professionalism. That is very hard to do. Remember, 92 meets expectations. So if you're meeting expectations, you're not going to get above a 92. You have to be exceeding expectations. Here's a breakdown of your on-sites. Remember, none of you guys are going to all of the on-sites. I am, but none of you guys are. So remember to understand what lab you're in and what on-site you're going to. Are you going to the group A, which is in green, or are you going to group B, which is in red? Again, subject to change. Make sure you're checking your emails and checking your announcements. Everyone is going to be required to take the OTKE exam before classes begin. The exam is taken on the 17th. If you have any questions, please reach out to Dr. Shelabakakis on that one. For the OTKE exam, we talk about it in week 1. I will just let you know this tidbit right now. You do not need to study for it. It's a pre and post test. So even though it says exam, this one, just try to relax out. We'll talk more about it, but there's nothing to worry your little head about it right now. And then starting here, you have the general breakdowns of what the weeks look like. So week 1, we talk about the OTKE exam. We talk about introduction. Week 2 has the dates. You have your first quiz on week 2. OT history due by the end of the week. We talk about the centennial vision. All of this stuff is breaking down what the assignments are due on the right. So at the end of the week, you have that quiz due, right? Always check your discussions. Almost every week you have a discussion. Some weeks you have more than one discussion. So make sure you're on top of that. So you have your dates on the left, your topics in the middle, and your assignments due. Starting week 4, we have the first on-site meeting. So week 4, you have the green highlight. So it's group A, lab 1, section 1, I should say 1 and 2, that's fine. What you need to do is you need to come prepared for your on-sites. Make sure you watch the video in your lab section. It talks about your general expectations. Anything that is posted prior to your lab, check your announcements. It is your responsibility to understand it, because when we go into that lab, we're going to just jump right in. We will be working on lab, the framework a bit, talking about activity analysis, and I'll be handing you out a hard copy of the COPM. And then on top of that, you have your topic for the actual Canvas lecture for the week, and then you have your film packet due. So everything's coinciding. So there you have it. You have the breakdown of your date, the topics, what's due, you have your labs coming in between. We got it highlighted right here because you have your frame of reference quiz testing in the testing block prior to your on-site number 3. So make sure you're aware of your testing blocks as well. So hopefully this video has helped you navigate the syllabus a little bit better. Remember, it is your job to read through all of the material, understand it thoroughly. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or Colleen. If it's a question in another course, feel free to reach out to that professor. But hopefully this video helps you understand and navigate this a little bit better. Because again, a lot of the assignments and a lot of the material, this syllabus gives you a nice breakdown of how to approach the assignments and what you're looking for the material. All right, have a wonderful day.